In this video, we're going to discuss the concept of timing on a squash ball and how it actually changes from shot to shot, but also what you're trying to achieve with your shot and with your movement. And the two are very closely linked. And the other thing to think about is the fact that your movement and your timing onto a ball will actually vary depending on where the shot is, as well as what shot you're trying to hit and what you're trying to do to your opponent. It's always worth remembering that you're trying to make everything as easy for yourself as possible and as difficult for your opponent as possible. Now, if we think about timing into the front corners and through the middle sometimes, what you'd be looking to do quite often is actually time it so that you arrive and hit. So you might be stepping and hitting quite close to each other, and what that gives you is it gives you momentum and movement into the shot. So if you're moving into the front corner, for example, either on the backhand or the forehand, and you've got that speed of you moving onto the ball, if everything that you've done and your preparation is ready, as you land, you can hit. And what that allows you to do is it allows the shot to flow, it allows you to get your body weight and everything into the shot, because what you see quite often when people get it wrong is they're on the shot too early and then they struggle to keep their body weight balanced over the ball. So they start to pull out of the shot as they hit. And you see it a lot on the volley. People will, if I show you on this side, people will step and actually by the time they're hitting, they'll start to be pulling off the shot. Whereas in an ideal world, you want to time it. So you hold, you step, get your body weight in, and then you pop off the shot from there. So it really does vary on what you're trying to do and what it gives you if you're stepping and hitting onto the ball, which again, as I mentioned, is through the middle and into the front, is it really does give you that. It ensures that you're getting your body weight into the shot. It gets you're getting some momentum in. And the other beauty of using this type of movement at the front is that you can actually go in with a slightly smaller swing. And as you go into the front, if someone's moving you in short with a good quality ball, generally their ball stays lower and it stays further up the court, which means that your swing becomes slightly smaller. So you have to become a bit more compact. So although you still get your racket up above the ball, it wouldn't be up here if the ball's down here. It starts to reduce slightly. And being able to use your movement onto the ball and then stepping and hitting with your timing allows you to still generate quite a bit of pace and power from what is quite a small swing. So it really helps you with that. And it also helps you if you can combine it as you move in there, you step, you hit and come out. It gives you that momentum with the shot. But then equally, you can step in and step and hit and get that drop shot. And everything starts to link up and works together in that way if you're doing that. Now, the other thing to think about is sometimes you just want to get onto a ball as early as you possibly can because you know you've got your opponent out of position, they're stuck in a corner, your opponent knows what you're going to hit, the crowd knows what you're going to hit, you know what you're going to hit, but all it is it's about you taking that ball as early as you can, getting the ball onto the front wall so that you can take all of the time away from your opponent. And now then it's all about just what's quickest, what gets you to the ball to be able to make contact at the earliest point, just to be able to rush them and stretch the court out for them. Now there's times when you do that, and if you look at someone like Nick Matthew, he was brilliant at just knowing exactly when he wanted to extend everything to the ball and just get that ball onto the front wall as quickly as possible to rush the opponent. Now the other thing to think about when we're talking about timing is the fact that sometimes you will get to the ball early and you'll want to hold. Now that could be at the front of the court where you position yourself and you get to the ball and you hold and the ball's sitting up and you hit on your terms. You break down your opponent's movement, you stop-start them, which is a very difficult way to move. You know, anyone that, if we're talking about footwork and movement, as soon as you're being stop-started, it's a heavy movement that's difficult to do, it's difficult to get that flow. Now, when you're trying to hold someone, again, it's about knowing where you want that striking point. So you might have an area related to you where you want that ball. So if I'm here on my forehand, I know that I want this shot in this area if I'm going to be holding. So I've got from here to, I've got about that much space to work out and to hold my opponent, which is a lot of time when we're actually talking about hitting a ball and playing rallies. And at that point, I can delay and then hit my shot from there. So as long as you're balanced and in a good position, you've got your positioning right, you can then start to just hold your opponent slightly and break their rhythm. The other thing to think about with your timing is that as the ball goes to the back of the court, you actually look to get behind the ball slightly more. So then your timing is that you get behind the ball, you wait, and then as you hit, again, you try and get your movement coming forwards with the shot. So you're starting your recovery with your timing. So you then actually have to get past the ball, be faster than the ball, hold your position, hit the shot, and then move out with it. So there's different timings all around the court, and it all depends on what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to do to your opponent, where you're positioned on the court. So the front will be very different to the middle, and the back will be very different to the front, for example. And it's all about you developing that understanding. Are you trying to hold? Are you trying to get your timing so you get all your movement and everything into the shot? Or are you just getting onto it as quickly as you can to rush your opponent? All these things need to be considered, and you need to practice them and be aware of them. But the more you're aware of them, the better you'll get at them.